I'm John Hindhaugh, Mobil 1 Radio LeMans 91.2 FM, in the right-hand seat of a Ford Mustang V8, the 2016 version of the car. Unfortunately, it's a left-hand drive car, otherwise I'd be having way more fun. But my driver is none other than Ford Works driver Andy Priaulx, who in just a few scant hours' time will be taking a Ford GT down this very bit of road and out to see the Dunlop Bridge and head off into competition for the first important laps here at Le Mans in 2016. Firstly, Andy, I mean, Ford back at Le Mans, that in itself, particularly on the 50th anniversary of probably Ford's biggest motorsport win globally, I mean, that in itself is a headline.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is a massive event for Ford and a massive privilege as a driver to be representing that amazing brand and that amazing history. I mean, 50 years ago this weekend, you know, Ford not only achieved the victory, but 1, 2, 3 steps on the podium in the number 2 car and in the number 2 Ford GT. So for us to come back here now with this program, it's exciting on this amazing track. With you know, all of the support from Ford and everybody, there's a huge passion.
We get the nod from the commissaire.
When you first pull out onto the track here, and you know you know that in just a few moments' time you're going to be entering one of the most famous straights in the world, the Mulsanne Straight. Here we are at the Dunlop chicane, which is a really technical part of the track actually, because you're arriving quite quick through a very fast right-hander, and then you've got to slow the car right down to second gear to get it through this little technical part of the track. Very easy to make a very simple mistake there and end up in the gravel on the braking. So yeah, a really nice part. You see the big Dunlop bridge over the top there, and now we're heading into the real man's country.
We've just come off the first part of dedicated race circuit on the 8.5 miles of Le Mans circuit onto the public road, and it's very public at the moment, so we're filtering into traffic. It always seems odd to me, Andy, to see cars coming in the opposite direction. Rather off-putting as well, if I'm honest. 24-hour race, Le Mans. You've done 24 hours before, you've done here before, but Le Mans is a unique event. It's not the Nürburgring, it's not anywhere else, it's not Daytona. How do you prepare for a race that has a challenge that is so different like Le Mans?
Yeah, I mean, Le Mans just seems to be, you know, I look back at my notes from 2011 and I wrote in the whole lead up, it's so big, you know, it's one of the biggest races in the world. So you've got a lot going on and you're almost tired before it starts. You know, you've got an early morning warm up, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, and then you're straight into your 24-hour race. So, you know, it's about re-energizing, it's about training, it's about, you know, healing the body, and the biggest thing for me with Le Mans is concentration. Long straights, heavy braking, a split second late on the brakes, John, and you're off. And you know,
and anybody can do it.
It's easily done. You know, Alan McNeish was telling me, I think a 1/10 of a second was like 10 meters on the brakes or something. So you know, and that's enough between making the corner or not. So, and you really feel like you're representing a huge manufacturer. You feel the pressure. You know they're putting everything on the line to be here, and you can really feel that. You know,
just past the Antares area, there's a new hotel going up there. I would love to think that was going to be a Holiday Inn or a Holiday Inn Express, because then we could just nip back there for a decent night's kip and a shower. What are you doing at this point, Andy? This is your last chance to call in, I would think, to the pits and let them know if you've got to come into the pits. Absolutely. What's happening, guys, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, John, you know your stuff. Absolutely. I mean, Arnage, by the way, you can have a real Mickey Mouse accident there and look really stupid, by the way. It's not very grippy on the brakes. And just one thing, coming into Indianapolis again, it's one of those sections that if you're on slicks and it's doing this, I tell you, you can go off just like that. So you're very happy to get that section done. You're now arriving at Porsche curves, a little bit of communication with the team generally down here, how's my pace, and you know, you might be talking about strategy right now. This is a crucial part, because once you enter Porsche curves, there's no time to be on the radio. Again, in the race situation, you're just generally at this point thinking, right, we've got Porsche now, we've got to roll some speed into here, it's bumpy on the way in, and you know, you've got to be really sharp on your turn-ins. There's no vision points here on the way in.
Nothing.
You know, you don't know where the corner is, so you've got to go purely on instinct. and you've got to make that first apex. That's really important, to get the car into that apex and roll the speed through, and then looking up ahead for the fast left of the Porsche, and this is where the real men come out and play.
We're in the Porsche curves. Let's just pause for a moment, because I want to talk about this in a wee second. But what I need to know now, Andy, is, let's say that you're coming in at the end of your stint. This is the last run into the pit areas you've mentioned. The guys have told you, box, box, box. You're coming in, you've done a double, maybe a triple stint. What happens while you're out of the car and Tinks or Mino, Marino or Harry Tinknell are taking over the car? What do you do? Do you get rest? Can you sleep? Do you just take yourself away, or do you want to stay involved?
Well, you kind of, first of all, get your message over to the engineer, what's happening with the car, is there anything you need to do on tyre pressures or whatever, tyre choice, and then you get some food down you, and then you try to get some sleep. But you know, it's one of those races, only 3 drivers per car, there's not a lot of time between stints, and honestly, it's such a big event, your mind's spinning, you know, and getting out of the car, you're so pumped up, and you know that things are happening so quickly in your mind, your senses and everything are absolutely on sort of high alert. It's difficult to wind down, it really is, but you try to have a rest, you try to just calm yourself, eat well, drink well, and just try to have some, you know, shut eye, but it's a very, very light sleep if you get anything at all.
Anyone who's done any even arrive and drive car knows that if you're in a race situation for any amount of time, you're going to get hot and you're going to get sweaty. You guys are super fit, but you can't stop the sweat. Getting out of your race suit and getting into a clean race suit a couple of hours later,
lovely.
Putting a clean helmet on, a dry clean helmet, that must be though one of the best things in the world.
Do you know, the best thing is getting in the shower and just washing your body down and your eyes and all the dirt out your face, and you know, yeah, I mean, you're sweating, you're just groggy, you know, and it's nice just to rehydrate again as well. And you know, you can lose up to 4 kilos in a 24-hour race. Alex Verts said he loses 4 kilos in any 24.
From where? He hasn't got 4 kilos to give. Neither of you.
I know.
You're as fit as a butcher's dog's personal trainer, mate.
Absolutely. I like that. That's
when
great.
you pass the car over, you give your synopsis to the driver, to the engineer as you're coming in. So you'll probably have done that before you get to this point on the track. So it's, you know, it was fine as the tyres and the fuel went down, this happened, that happened, tell Marino that he's going to need to watch this, that, or the other, there's a slippy spot, so and so. Yeah. Then you get out the car. How easy or difficult for you then is it to switch off? How important is it for you to try and put your mind in neutral after all that concentration?
Very difficult, because you always want to know what the other guy's doing.
Still your car.
Absolutely. And you know, is he doing a quicker lap than me? Right, I better, you know, and I used to, you know, Jo, my wife's not going to be here this weekend, but she's brilliant. She stays up when I'm asleep. She writes down all the stints. So when I get out of the car, she's got an A4 piece of paper of every lap that my teammate's done, which is lovely because you can see the general pace of the car. It's nice to be the fastest driver, but what you want to see is, has the track evolved? You know, what are the conditions been like? What's the general pace of your competitors? Because you've got to have a target. You know, there's no point just going out here and being happy and relaxed in a rhythmic way, because you know, to be quick, you've always got to be in that uncomfortable zone. Yeah. So you've got to push yourself always. This is endurance racing, but with a sprint mentality, Andy, because effectively from the moment you come off the pit lane speed limit and the moment you go back on it, 55 minutes an hour or so in a GT car, there's no racing at 85%. No. You are pushing all the time. Then you grab something to eat, and now you see me, my body shape tells you that I would go for the sweet sticky things. You'd go for a beer, wouldn't you? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Bit nice. Of Newcastle. Yeah, possibly. Bit of a Newcastle bitter or something. Bit of that, maybe a bit of double Maxim from Sunderland. Yeah, absolutely. But certainly it would be, you know, meat and potatoes, sausage and mash, or something like that. I take it that is not on the menu for drivers during the 24. No, you can eat pretty much what you want. You don't have to worry about that. But what you want to do is keep your concentration up. So, you know, too many carbs before you get in the car, for me, drains my concentration. Protein is what you want when you get out of the car. You know, you want to be able to replace those minerals, some amino acids or something like that, just to rebuild the body. Lots of fluids. But honestly, John, the fluid thing starts now. Not really? Not just before the race. Right. So, you know, you need 2 days before just to get the fluids up, get your body and your cells, you know, hydrated, and you know, during the race you're maintaining obviously your hydration, but the hard work is done before. So you've
been out the car. Let's assume you've been out the car. Marino's done his stints. Harry's done his stints. It's your turn, comes back around again. How soon before you're in the car is somebody knocking on the door of your little cabin saying, right, come on Priaulx, it's time to get ready?
About 45 minutes before.
Right.
You're generally up there about half an hour before.
Do you have a routine?
Yeah, not really. I mean, you know, I'd rather be at the garage early than have a rush. I want to check my helmet's ready and all my earphones and everything. I generally half an hour before I'm in the garage ready to go, doing a little bit of a warm up, you know, just jigging around a little bit, getting your body stimulated and getting yourself into a position where, you know, it might be 3 o'clock in the morning and you'll be in a few moments time doing 180 miles an hour plus doing that down the Mustang straight. Can I just say, guys, this guy Johnny, Radio LeMans, is the man. Anything you need to know about sports car racing, he is the Bible of sports car racing.